So start with the oil. Just crack your rosemary, pop it in your oil, try and submerge it. Get the, where are we? Get most of the stuff off your garlic. You don't need to go too crazy with it. Just smash your garlic and pop that in your oil, and then put the oil on low until it's just bubbling, then turn it off. Got that bubbling. Now is when to take it off the heat. In goes the salt, in goes the sugar, give it a bit of a mix around, in goes the yeast, that a bit of a mix around, in goes the water. That a good mix around. And guys, a little bit of this. Give that a bit of a mix around. This is at 10 minutes. After just 10 minutes it's risen that much. It's going to round under, pick it up. So this is after half an hour. Just going to pinch that, pull it, kind of fold it on itself again. And try and do that without dropping it all in. A little bit too close. There we go, you can see what I'm doing anyway. So I've just stretched it up and kind of folded it on itself. Sorry, it's harder to do with one hand than it should be, so that just kind of knocks it down one last time. So this is after half an hour, then I'll just leave that for another 15-20 minutes and I can put that in the thing. I could really just do the one or two quick, like 10-minute rises and be done with it, and then start stretching it out and do the final rise. But this just gives you a super aerated dough. Okay, got my giant baking tray, and I'm just going to tip the oil, or most of the oil, into the bottom of this. Leave a little bit over. Spread that around a bit. And it is a lot of oil, but the bottom of this ends up frying, and you soak up a lot of it with semolina anyway. So this semolina will give a really crispy bottom. So you pour on about a quarter cup of semolina. It's actually quite a lot of semolina. So you need to really go to town with the semolina. And you won't eat this when you lift the focaccia out. It will stay behind and just give you a nice crispy bread base. That's that ready. Okay, my dough has risen a huge amount, like it's risen up and hit the top of the container. So that is ready. You can see how much that has bubbled up and how really light that dough is. And I'm just going to pick that out and stretch that kind of lazily to a sheet. So I sort of try and flop that in there. And then, because I've got lots of oil on my fingers, I can just sort of stretch that into position. So just kind of push that out a little bit. If I leave this to sit for about 10 minutes or so, it'll relax and I can give it another stretch when I dimple it. Alright, so I'll give that 10 minutes now. Okay, I could only wait 5 minutes. I got bored, so I'm just going to pick that up and stretch it over. Now it fits and fills the corner more easily. That's all good. Then I'll just go through and with fingertips punch holes all the way down. You can sort of even it up a little bit on the way over. And back this way. There we go. Then, toppings. So I've got lots and lots of yummy toppings. I've got these ones, and I've got these ones, and it's just a case of assembling. So I'll start with my tomatoes. Well, I've got an olive. I'll start with my tomatoes, and these have been dehydrated slightly. So they're extra delicious, and they won't add too much liquid to the mix. So done. And the focaccia has been sitting for about 5-10 minutes, and it's just re-inflated after I put all the things on it, so you can see the air bubbles coming back. And it's all nice and puffy. I'm going to put that in the oven now for 20 minutes, or 25 minutes at 210 degrees fan force. That will puff up and go beautifully light and crunchy. My tin is actually slightly too big to fit in the oven, so it has to go in sideways. Well, not quite sideways, just on an angle. So I'll rotate that halfway through. And 25 minutes later, this is looking perfect. So you can see it's shrunk away from the edges very slightly. And it is all deliciously cooked. Okay, I've run around with the edge with the knife, and I've just, this is after only 5 minutes of sitting. I don't want it to sit in the tray for too long. Or it will start to steam on the bottom, and I want that bottom to be crispy. So I've just loosened it off. I'm just going to flip it and try not to burn myself. And flip. Here's hoping that has released well. Here we go. Oh, look at that. So see, that's all the oil and fat that's left over in there is gone. The bottom of that I'll just let dry off, but that is really crispy and delicious. And as that cools, that'll get crunchy. But you can see that it's still a really soft, lovely bread with a good strong crust. Now this is where you lose all your toppings and end up swearing quite a lot. Squidge that back on and flip them back over, and that will cooling off and be truly delicious. That is perfect focaccia with a really crispy base in a regular oven. And yeah, the feta's not traditional, but tell you what, it's mighty delicious. Thanks. Look how light and fluffy that is. It's so squishy. And it is crunchy and delicious, and these little tiny bits of rosemary are super crispy when you eat them. They really crunch, and everything else is just perfect.